Good morning, all. I hope everyone had a fantastic Christmas and you're looking forward to New Year. It's a weird in between moment, isn't it? At the moment, in between Christmas and New Year, just always feels a little bit weird. I feel like I should be back at work. I want to be back at work, but this week again is going to be pretty quiet because of the New Year celebration, guys. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, as you come in, please smash a like, hit the subscribe button as well. I really would appreciate it. Let's talk Tottenham. What a great result yesterday for Spurs at Crystal Palace. Was it the best game? No, not really. But we got the job done, didn't we? We got the job done. We won and we move on to the next game. A massive 3 points needed at Brentford on Thursday. Guys, what is the weather like where you are? It is a cold morning here in the West Country, hence the hat. And yeah, it's very cold. Not putting the heating on because I'm a cheapskate. But let me know what it's like where you are. Yeah, going back to yesterday, you know what? It was performance wasn't fantastic, was it? We were not breathtaking to watch. We haven't been breathtaking to watch all season. We've been very dull for the most part. But yesterday, you know what we did? We got the job done. And that's what it's all about for me. Getting the job done and winning the game, getting 3 points. At this stage in the season with Spurs dropping like a stone, which we have been now for a good month, a win was needed. But we need to follow that up now with another win. We cannot be winning one, losing one, winning one, losing two, winning two, losing two. We have to start putting a run together. You know, you look at the league table and we will bring it up. It is very much the story of our season. You know, winning a few, losing a few, but absolutely golden sun, bang on. 3 points is all that matters. Right now, it is all about 3 points. And for me, listen, I thought we did okay yesterday. The game, like I say, wasn't great. Quality from both sides was not fantastic. I'm hearing a lot of excuses from a lot of fans already. Yeah, Palace were tired. Yeah, Palace were poor. Um, Sometimes, guys, we have to give Tottenham credit. You know, we won the game. We went there. We kept a clean sheet. I cannot remember Palace having any absolutely clear cut opportunities. A couple of headers that they didn't hit the target from. Other than that, I can't remember a clear-cut chance that Palace missed, or, you know, the Vicario saved. I can't remember Vicario having a save to make. Wharton in the first half, I think, a P-roller that he could have stuck his cap on. Other than that, Palace, a lot of huff, a lot of puff, but didn't really create anything and couldn't blow the Tottenham house down. And Spurs, as much as we didn't do a lot, when we did, we were clinical and we looked clinical. Obviously, we scored the goal, Archie Gray, fantastic. And I will get to the chat in a minute, guys. But we also had two goals disallowed, two tight calls for offside as well. First one, you know, disappointed in Bergval. I think he maybe should have been a bit more aware that he was offside when the ball came to it. Didn't just take that step backwards, did he? Um, Richarlison may have been slightly offside as well, but we will never know that. And then the second one, really tight. We're talking about a kneecap offside. Again, Richarlison just going a little bit early. But like I say, we didn't create a lot, but when we did, we either scored, we had a goal disallowed. Odebear hit the post again, hearing people say he should have scored. What? It was a great run, and he was really unlucky, hit the inside of the post. We'll go to who we thought did well and maybe not so well in a minute. And then Bentancur probably forces the best save from any keeper in the match the whole game. And that was late on. So on another day, even though we won 1-0, we had an XG of 0.88, I think. We could have won 4-5-0. It's one of them. Um, Listen, we take the win. It's all about winning the game. We did that. You know, before the game, I'll be the first to admit, I thought we'd lose. But the fact that we haven't, the fact that we got the 3 points is more of a relief than anything. I don't know how you guys feel. I wasn't like, oh my God, what an amazing victory. And going nuts and run around my living room. I was literally like, Thank God for that. Right, we move on to next. It's all about picking up points, getting to that January window, and hopefully signing a few players in January that hopefully take us further up the table. But we will see. Again, the jury's out on Frank, right? You know, some fans love him, some fans hate him. Like any manager, the jury is out. The next defeat, the knives will be out again. Let's hope we can rack up 3 or 4 wins before we lose our next game and take a bit of the pressure off the whole club because I'm hearing a lot of negativity and a lot of it's come from me, and I'll be the first to admit that. But when we win, I think we've got to enjoy the moments. You know, we're not a Man City, we're not an Arsenal. Sadly, we're not going to win um, 8 games before they lose one. We're Tottenham, and we're going to win one, lose one, win one, lose one. Um, we got to enjoy them when they come, in my opinion. Let's say hello to the chat. And the Two Marks show, big up the Two Marks. I think it's Cookie, maybe Sheriff. But either one of you, much love, buddy. And we all want you back. Get back on our screens. But the Two Marks say, have a good show, mate. Thanks, buddy. And I hope you're both well. Vendetta says, I'll catch up with the show later, Nige. Have a good one. I'm getting more excited about the window opening now. Let's hope we do some sensible business and bring in the quality we desperately need. And this is it now. You know, vital win, last game of the 2025 season, calendar year, which has been domestically, as Brian would say, a shit show. But let's hope 2026 is better for league and cup form in the domestic competitions. And yeah, we are now in a position where we can go and buy the transfer windows open in the next 48 hours, I think. So it's all to do now, isn't it? Spurs have said 150 million to spend. Let's go spend it. Let's go spend it. Let's not waste any time at all. Let's get out there, spend some money, and hopefully bring the players in we need. Adam McFarlane saying Danzo better than Kuti. Let me know what you think, guys. Is Danzo better than Kuti? For me, listen, Danzo is your, maybe this has been a bit harsh on Danzo. Danzo is your Ben Davis of centre backs in the fact he is always a 6 or 7 out of 10. Very rarely goes below, very rarely goes above. I'd say he's always a bit better than Davis, always a 7 out of 10. Just your solid centre back who will give you exactly what you need. I love Kevin Danzo. I never have an issue with Cootie being out because I know Danzo's going to come in, fill his shoes, and do a perfectly good job. So, yeah, no problem with Danzo at all. But let me know, guys, do you think Danzo is better than Cootie? I think Cootie's probably a better player, but Danzo maybe more consistent. Maybe. But I tell you what else was nice yesterday. It was seeing Dragushin come back into the side, and he didn't look like he'd missed a game, did he? He come in, he did what he needed to do, won his headers, got his clearances, and that's what you want from a centre back, right? You know, no faffing around, head it out, clear it. I think that's what we need, and lovely to see Dragoshin back. Whether he stays at Spurs, that's another question, but we will see. Andrew Gregory's in said, Morning, Nige. Guys, always a hard watch with Alan Smith wittering on. Yeah, why can't we have a few ex-Tottenham boys in the, commentary team? Why is it always, I just feel whenever Spurs players, it's almost like, let's hope Spurs lose. They can't wait for Tottenham to lose to get on them, and when they win, I don't know. It's just not we don't get the same kind of feel back for me. But yeah, it is what it is. Andrew Gregory saying that Madison and Johnson were at the darts last night watching Luke Humphreys. I think that's the best thing about between Christmas and New Year, isn't it? The darts. The rest of it is it's pretty dull, pretty boring. But yeah, looking forward to New Year's Day because if we can pick up another victory, then suddenly things are looking different. And I did a video about, Frank, 2 weeks to save his job. I had the next 5 fixtures, which of course was Crystal Palace, Brentford, Sunderland, Bournemouth, and then Aston Villa in the cup. And I was like, listen, we lose 3 of them in the league and then lose the FA Cup, then Frank could be out of a job. Well, listen, he still could lose 3 of them and lose in the FA Cup, but we picked up the win on the opening one. If we can win 3 of them and go through in the FA Cup, suddenly things look really rosy at Spurs. So let's see what happens. It's never a dull moment at Tottenham Hotspur, is it? And Andrew saying it's dark and grey. Yeah, pretty much the same here in the West Country, and also very cold. Golden Sun, big up, mate. Says 3 points is all that matters. 100% is all about winning the game, and we've done that. So I am chuffed to bits. And Andrew said, make the most of your Christmas break to rest, Nige. Yeah, I know. I just think being self-employed, I'm already thinking, right, okay, I need to start earning money. And as most people, I'm guessing most people here, we spend most of December, you know, paying for Christmas. And then as soon as Christmas is over, it's like, okay, I need to earn some money because I am skint. But listen, it is what it is. Andrew said our away fans are different class. Couldn't agree more. You could hear them the whole game. Absolutely hear them the whole game. And when they were singing Can't Smile Without You, that's a thing of beauty, right? It just makes the hairs on your, yeah, gives you goosebumps, doesn't it? Because I think we should be singing that song at home more often. I think that should be our song as the players come out just before we kick off. Arsenal have got that horrific North London Forever, and even West Ham have songs, and other teams have songs. I think Can't Smile Without You should be the one we sing at the top of our lungs before every game. Hasn't ever seemed to really taken off though, is it? But yeah, that would be it for me anyway. Kate Rixon's in saying, "Morning, Nige. Hope you had a lovely Christmas." I did. I had a lovely Christmas. Thank you very much. Quiet but nice. I hope you had a good one too. Golden Sun saying Vicario leading with his knee when jumping. Get in there. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. Vicario needs to take care of himself and needs to be a bit more nasty, I think. And yeah, fair play to him. And Kate saying we won. That's all I can say about the game, Nigel. Absolutely. It's all about 3 points at the end of the day. And then Kate saying we need some ready-made quality in no more prospects, 100%. And this is what's going to be interesting in this January window, where we go, who we go for. Are we going to go for those ready-made players? Goretzka's been strongly linked. I'd love a Goretzka on our side. He is a man. He is built like an absolute tank. Not only that, he's a top player. You look at his passing stats. He's in the top percentile for all of it, and he is one hell of a player. I think he'd do brilliantly in the Premier League as well. I think the guy is made for Premier League football. Will we get him? I don't know. Probably not, but it would be nice. A Goretzka, that kind of signing, just that experience, who's been there, seen it, done it, won everything, would be a fantastic signing for Tottenham, in my opinion. Guy is in the house. Big up, Guy. I hope you are, mate. Saying, hey, nice. Big up, chat. I was at the game. A good turgid win. Absolutely. Love a turgid win. Listen, the football's got to improve, isn't it? We all know that. The football has to improve. It's not great to watch. For 70 minutes of that game, I was like, this is terrible. But when we win, you can kind of forgive the crap football. It's when we lose that you can't forgive the crap football. But while we're winning, we're happy. Guy says, happy with Danzo, just a solid defender. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's exactly what he is. Just a solid defender. Um, and yeah, sometimes just being solid is overlooked. You've got to have something else. And for me, as a centre back, just be solid. And that's exactly what Danzo is. Kate Rixon says we need to keep Dragushin. I'm kind of in agreement, but at the same time, I'm just wondering where his minutes are going to come from. I mean, if Romero keeps getting suspended like he does, then he'll get plenty of minutes. But it's going to be interesting to see what Spurs do with him. Obviously we've heard rumours that he could be going out on loan. But we'll see. We will see. Andrew Gregory saying Danzo, big, strong, old-fashioned centre back. His passing distribution is limited. Danzo is also good cover. Is good cover for Romero. I agree. Absolutely, absolutely agree. And spotlight on Spurs. Luke's in. Big up, Luke. Saying here he is, the man who doesn't want Gray starting, even though he's our match winner. No, no. I'll be the first to admit I was very much like, why is Polina not starting? For me, Polina is our best midfielder. Should be starting every game. And I'll get into Polina in a minute. So I was livid when he wasn't started yesterday. I was like, why isn't Gray start? Why isn't Polina starting? Gray's rubbish. And then Gray steps up with the winner. So yeah, as I've said in my video, what do I know about football? Absolutely nothing, clearly, but I still stand by the fact Polina should be starting every week. Barbaric saying, good morning, Nige. We got 3 points, which we desperately needed. Let's get some quality players in. Time to walk the walk, Enix. Smash the like and sub people. It really does help. Absolutely. Agree 100%, mate. It is time to walk the walk. We need to now start putting our money where our mouth is and get this quality in. Guys, give me 3 players that you would love to see Spurs sign that are realistic. Let's say we've got £150 million, which allegedly we have. Give me 3 players that you want Spurs to go out and sign that improve us and take us not to the next level, because I think it's going to take more than 3 players to take us to the next level, but improve us no end and give us a chance of then finishing the European place. 3 players, realistic. For me, I would love Goretzka because I just think he's that experience. Um, Left wing. Listen, I really want Marmoush. I know he's not a left winger as such, but he can play in that hole, play as a second striker. I'd love Marmoush. I don't know where he'd fit in, but I just love him as a player. I think he's the kind of player that would get fans off their seats. And as a third player, maybe someone like, if we're looking at realistic signings, maybe someone like a Lookman who could come in and do a good job for us. But I have to say, really, really impressed with Odegaard yesterday. I thought he was fantastic when he come on. So looking forward to seeing more of Odegaard as well. I'm not sure what he's done to upset Frank, because Frank gave him his wings, played in 4 or 5 games, looked like he was coming into form, and then suddenly he's been out of the side again. So yeah, good to see Odegaard come on and good to see him impress. I thought he was fantastic. Guy saying, laugh out loud. Gray scored 1. Go and Peeps wet. Yeah, I think listen, it is 1 goal and it is what it is. We will see how he does. He is a young kid still. It was nice for him to score though. And yeah, it was a tidy finish. Ghosted is in saying big up Nigel and chat. Hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. Yeah, I had an alright Christmas, mate. I hope you did too. I hope you got some nice presents. I got some lovely presents. I have got another sign to put up, but the trouble is, it's just really, really bright. So when I put it behind me, you can't see anything. So I'm gonna have to work something out now, I think. Ghost is saying, sorry, guy saying big up to Ghosted. Tottenham Logic's in saying, hello, mate. What would you say to Wharton in the 6 and McTominay in the 8? Oh, there's a question. I gotta say, I don't know. Yes, Walton, I'd love. He's a top player. Yesterday, even though Palace, obviously we beat Palace, he was the metronome, wasn't he, for Palace? Just kept ticking things over, always looking to go forward. I like that about Walton. Yes, if we had the money to spend on a Walton and had money to spend on others as well, then get him in. Um, just not sure. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm kind of in the market. I kind of want an all action midfielder, someone who's going to get about everywhere. And I'm guessing that's where McTominay comes in. Um, I still see McTominay as a United player. You know what he was like at United. I know he's had a great run of form at Napoli, but is that Italian football a bit slower? I don't know. For me, if I'm honest, Wharton, yes. McTominay, nah, doesn't excite me. Doesn't excite me. But listen, if he come in and ripped it up, fair play. Fair play. But guys, let me know what you think. Would you take McTominay at Tottenham? Am I just being a typical Tottenham fan and thinking we could do better. McTominay would probably get in our team straight away and rip it up. But yeah, I'm just not sure about him. Just not sure about him. Ghost is saying we needed them 3 points yesterday. Absolutely, we did. And Ghost is saying I was looking at our run of fixtures and they are tough after the next 4 games. Well, if you look at even our next 4 games, mate, they're pretty tough, I think. I did a video about, Frank having, of course, 2 weeks to lose his job. And I did those 5 fixtures, and Palace away was a tough game. Brentford away is tough. Sunderland, even though we're at home, they're playing really good stuff. It's going to be a tough game, but we should win. And then we go to Bournemouth, who are awful at the moment, but we all know at Bournemouth, Spurs going now, it's not going to be an easy game. So, yeah, we have a tough run of games now, but all of them are winnable. So it's one of them. I don't want to see it 2 wins, 2 defeats. I want to see it either, well, not either. I want to see 3 wins out of those 4 games. I don't want to see 3 defeats. So let's see what we do going forward. Guy saying, Nigel, I was loving our chants in the away fans singing some of them couldn't have been broadcast. No, I'm sure they did. Maybe drown out the sound now and again. Kate saying the better at the table, the better quality we could get in though. Yes, agreed. Agreed. And this is why we need to keep winning games. If we can win New Year's Day as well, suddenly we're up in that top 8 or 9. And we're looking up instead of down, because I think West Ham at the moment they look like they cut adrift. And for me, the bottom three are the bottom three. And I think if West Ham had won against Fulham, maybe you could have been thinking, okay, there could be, someone else could get dragged into it. At the moment, I don't see where West Ham win their next game, and I think the bottom three are in big, big trouble. So we have just got to look up. We've just got to look up, keep winning games, and if we can do that, then there is no reason why we cannot finish a lot higher, maybe in a European place. Let's hope we can get further at the table, bring some real quality in. Guy said, nah, for me, it takes more than scoring a goal a good player makes. Yeah, yeah, agreed, agreed. Listen, this is why I was screaming for Polinia, and I gotta say, I do think the game turned on Polinia and Odegaard coming on. I thought Polinia, listen, say what you want about Polinia. Is he the best passer in the world? I don't think he's as bad as what people make out. Has he got the legs? Again, I don't think he's as bad as what people make out. What he does, he wins his duels, he wins his tackles, and he is a fighter. He never gives up. And if he slides in and misses a tackle, you can bet your bottom dollar within 3 or 4 seconds, he's round again having another go. He's an absolute tiger. And like I say, some of the tackles and some of the fires he put out yesterday after he come on, just brilliant. I love him. He is, Spurs are renowned for playing brilliant, lovely attacking football, free flowing, great passing, great movement, scoring great goals. But you know what? Tottenham are also known for having fucking hard bastards in their sides. You know, from my lifetime, Graham Roberts, your Paul Millers, your Pat Vanden Howes. We have had hard nuts in our team. And I just think Polinia is that. He is hard as nails. And I absolutely love him. So yeah, I still have him in my side. Golden Sun saying any solid left winger. Yeah, we absolutely still need another left winger. There's no doubt about that. But I am impressed with Odegaard. I would like to see him get more game time. And if we can get in a left winger, an experienced left winger who's top quality that Odegaard can learn off, even better for Tottenham. What I don't want us to see is, I know we're linked with this Diamande. Don't know too much about him. I've seen clips. He looks very good. But again, he's another young player. Um, and that would be Odegaard, Tau, Diamande. It's like, are we just stockpiling young left wingers? And of course, we've got Mikey Moore on loan. Let's bring in some experience and quality, someone who's been there and seen it. And yeah, go from there. So I agree. Yeah, any solid left winger would be fantastic for me. Dingo, yeah, saying good result, but still a painful watch. I agree, mate. It was not fun to watch at all. Not a good game to watch, but listen, we got the result. It's all about winning, isn't it? All about winning at the moment. Kate saying, "Has Man City lost Semenyo to Liverpool? We won't get any Man City players if it's true." Again, I think it's all rumours at the moment, isn't it? I don't think Semenyo is ever just gonna go to City. I think there was always gonna be a few clubs coming in for him. I think he's kind of got his heart set on City, isn't he? But we will see. Look, money talks. But if Liverpool get Semenyo, then your likes of Gakpo, maybe they're up for sale. And guys, what about a Gakpo? I quite like Gakpo. I think he's a decent player. Again, Dutch player. Maybe he could link well with Xavi. Um, don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what this window brings. I think a lot of clubs are going to be looking at players, and Spurs need to act quickly, though, right? We need to act quickly in the market, no doubt about that. Philly's in. Some big up, Nige, and everyone in the magnificent chat this morning. Big up to you, Philly. I hope you're well, mate. And I hope you had a good Christmas. Looking forward to seeing your YouTube channel back in action and some movies that might be coming out soon. Guys, if you haven't, please smash that like. Hit the subscribe button if you're new, chasing down 1300. I feel like I've been saying that for ages. Wanted to get there by Christmas. I haven't. So we go for the new year now. Just going to keep pushing it back. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Joe Blog saying, "Afternoon, guys. What did you think of the game?" Honestly, mate, I don't think it was the best game in the world. The quality was really poor for the most part. But it's all about winning the game, right? And we've done that. We've done that. We've won the game. Sorry, my phone's going nuts. I thought something exciting might be happening, but it's not. It was all about winning the game, and we did that. Listen, it wasn't a pretty watch. Like I say, 70 minutes in, I was like, this is boring. Some of the passing was terrible, and I'll show you the stats actually. Yeah, we're going to get the stats up now. I've got the stats for the game, and I have to say, hopefully you guys can see that. Let's take Joe's comment down a minute, if I can find it. There you go. If you look at the stats, Palace had a lot more possession as expected. Listen, a lot of it was kind of as expected. The expected goals, as always, were below one, which is really poor. But the shots on target, we had more. But if you look at the bottom part, which is where I'm more interested, accurate passes. Palace 431, Tottenham only 236 accurate passes. And the passing accuracy, Palace 10% more. And Palace, their quality was poor as well. But Spurs passing accuracy, only 69.4%. For me, that is really, really poor. It needs to improve. It's not good enough. And for me, this is where I think we get let down. The passing is really poor from Tottenham, and we need to get a lot better. People saying hello. I will miss them out. Barbaric saying Edison, Lookman, Vlahovic, and Costa for goalkeeper. That would be a dream window, wouldn't it? For me, Vlahovic, what we could probably get him for 25 million? Probably. Costa, I'm not sure how much he would cost. Lookman, again, you're looking at 50 million, probably 60, 70 for Edison. So we could probably get most of those players for around 150 million pounds. So Barbaric, that for me would be a fantastic window. Can I see it happening? No, but I would be very happy if we got those four players in. Guy saying West Ham are shit, want them relegated. I mean, West Ham, they're a funny side, isn't they? I thought they would. I thought they would do better this season. I got to be honest. And listen, bringing a new manager in doesn't always work, does it? It's not working for West Ham at the moment. What I will say is they have got quality in now. They have got quality that they are capable of putting maybe a 2 or 3 run game together where they maybe win two and draw one. And that might pull them out of it. But currently, I don't know. I don't see where their next win's coming from. They look really poor. Guy saying, Yonaj, about the game, did it show on TV we are utter shit at gaining aerial duels, or was it just me? It didn't, no. I actually didn't think we were too bad in the aerial duel situation yesterday. I thought we won a lot of them. Maybe that was just me. But, I thought Danzo won most of his headers. When Palhinha come on, he won a few. Bentancur got beaten a few, which is unusual because Bentancur's usually pretty strong in the air. But, yeah, no, it didn't show that, mate, to be honest. I actually didn't notice it. I thought we were half decent. We won a lot of our headers from corners. Um, Obviously troubled them at our corners. So, yeah, didn't notice it as much. Billy saying we want West Ham cut adrift from the rest means more chance of signing their players like Bowen, etc. I mean, etc. is a bit harsh, mate. Bowen. Yeah, I mean, I'd definitely take Bowen. That would be about it. Um, Philly says Odegaard's no end product, doesn't even look up when he's about to cross the ball. I actually thought Odegaard had a decent game yesterday. I'm not gonna, I thought it was the one game that I've seen Odegaard for a long time. And listen, I think Odegaard is our most talented out of all our left wingers, and that maybe not saying a lot. But I actually thought when he got the ball yesterday, he looked to drive, he looked to attack, and that's what we want from our wingers. So listen, Odegaard's still young. I like him. I like him. Um, can he do better? Yes. But I thought he had a really impressive cameo yesterday, I have to admit. And Kate saying it looks like Neves is going to United. I'm not sure how I feel about that, to be honest. Do I like Neves? Yes. Do I think he's don't know, it's a difficult one because obviously he's gone to Saudi. How long will it take him to get back up to speed of the Premier League? Probably not long. Um, but again, I don't know. Don't know whether he would be a good signing for Spurs or not. He's not someone that if we signed, I'd be like, oh my God, we've signed Neves. Whereas a few other players I would. But I do like him. He's a good player. He's a good player. Rodney Martin said, how you doing? I'm good. How are you doing, mate? I hope you're well. I hope you had a good Christmas. And Bill saying, is all good coming on against tired opposition players as anything he offers is a bonus. But Odegaard actually starting is another thing that should be considered all of our young talents. Possibly. Yeah, possibly, mate. Possibly. I'm not going to accept the fact that Palace were tired yesterday. I accept the game was going on, so they were tiring. But I'm hearing people saying, we beat a tired team. I'm not having it. I'm not having it. We can't pick and choose, when we lose it's because we're shit. When we win it's because the other team are tired. I'm just like, come on. Come on. At some point we have to give us credit. I'm not saying about you, Phil. I'm just talking in general. I think at some point we have to give the team some credit, right? And Dingo saying, good time to offload Richie as he's scoring goals. Someone will take him. We can upgrade. Perfect opportunity to get rid of Richarlison. We won't know, will we? We know that. We won't. We know he's not gonna do that. Kate saying we can't pass all season. Yeah, our passing is terrible. Terrible and really disappointing. So many times we had a chance to break and we just didn't. We just didn't. We'd give the ball away straight away. And that was the disappointing thing for me because there were times when we broke away a few, obviously, the two goals we scored, lovely passing movement. Um, when Odegaard hit the post, lovely little move. We have got it in us, but more often than not, we just give the ball away. Jimmy's in saying people want better passes in midfield, but also want Goretzka and Lucatelli. Both no different to Højbjerg, just runners and chasing their first touch. But Jimmy, if you actually look at the stats, mate, big up to you. Goretzka's in the top percentile passing, everything. His short passing, his long passing, his medium passing, all 95% plus. Now, listen, again, that might be because he's playing for the best side in Germany. But I think Goretzka's a little bit more than just a runner. I agree, he is a runner, but I think he's a little bit more. Um, but what do we want then, guys? What do we want? If it's not a Goretzka or a Lucatelli, and I'd take both of them, what do we want? What kind of player do we want in our midfield as as the passer? Um, I hear a lot of people say Polina can't pass. Don't buy that at all. I think he's a decent passer. Um, but who do we want? Who do we want as that player? And I'm guessing Neves would be that kind of player who would get the ball and pass and just keep things moving. A Michael Carrick type. Um, who do we want? I don't know. It's and this is the thing as fans, we all want something slightly different, don't we? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. Darren Reese is in. Big up, Darren. Says morning nice. Johnson needs to go. He had a couple of chances yesterday and he fluffed his lines. He did. He had a couple of chances. One where I think he should have shot and he crossed and his cross was poor. I think Johnson's still playing in Ange mode, you know. It's almost like Ange just drilled into him what you have to do. Low cross, low cross, low cross. And he just still does it. Doesn't look up, low cross into the box. Half the time nobody's there. I'm kind of in agreement. I'm quite sad about it because I think Johnson's a bit of a cult hero. But you know what? If I think if Brendan Johnson left now and he went to a Palace or someone like that, I think in years to come, when he come back to Tottenham and when they have the old, get legends back on the pitch, I think Johnson will be in there for his goal in the UEFA Cup final. UEFA Cup, showing my age, in the Europa League final. People will look differently on him and be like, you know what, he's a bit of a cult hero, and I think he is. But agree 100%, he needs to go. 100% needs to go. Um, Not of the quality we need going forward. Ghost is saying Enoch's first test is coming up and I can't wait for it. Was it all on Levy or does Enoch stink just as bad? And this is bang on, Ghost. I'm really excited about what Tottenham may do in the window, may or may not do. There's going to be plenty to talk about over the next month, that's for sure. Are Spurs going to act like the big club they promised? And are they going to go out and spend this £150 million that allegedly is there to be spent? Or are we going to do what Spurs do? Are we going to wait to the end, very end of the window, and either pick a loan up or get a player £5 million cheaper that we could have got on January the 1st just to save money? For me, go out, spend the money, get the players in we need, make us a better team. Simple as that. Um, let's see whether we do it. Let's see whether we do it. Kate saying Bergval wasn't good. No, listen, Bergval for me is another one of them. Flatters to deceive, can do some good things, but as many good things as he does double the bad things. He's just not ready, I don't think. Yeah, I know a lot of people are absolutely raving about him. And I was excited about him at the start of the season. I thought this could be his year. But so far, just not doing it. We need better quality. Bergwijn for me is someone who either should be on loan or will get minutes off the bench, get the odd cup game. Um, he's just not of the quality yet. But I do like him. I do like him. Guy says our midfield has been shockingly bad. We really need to focus on it in January. Come on, Enoch, cough up the coffers. Yeah, I think midfield is where games are won and lost. We can talk about our defense and how we've got a good defense, and we've got the same defense as we had under Ange, to be fair. Um, but the midfield is where we win and lose games. Obviously, you've got to have good quality in those forward areas. But I do think we have some quality in those forward areas with the likes of Kudus, with Kolo Muani, who, by the way, for me, isn't a left winger. He needs to be through the middle. We're not getting the best out of him at all. If we could get that left-sided player and then pick up one or two midfielders who just improve us straight away, then I agree. I agree. That's what we need to do. But I think it's one of them. I think it changes every game, doesn't it? Every game, we need something different. A couple of weeks ago, we need a keeper. We need a keeper. Vicario's awful. And now suddenly he keeps a clean sheet. And it's like, see, we might be all right to the end of the season. So it changes from game to game. But we will see. We will see what happens. Philly saying, in the context of that game, Nige, and how Palace and General Odebear was an impact. So, yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. Listen, Odebear's not the answer. He's not the answer, but I am impressed with him when he comes off the bench. I do think he does. He's he's the most exciting out of our left-sided options that we have. I think if you're giving me the option of bringing a Tau on, an Odebear on, or a Johnson on, I'm saying every time get Odebear on. I'm not saying it's the answer. I do want us to sign a left-sided player, but I haven't got a problem with Odebear being an understudy there. And I do think he had a good run of games. I do think he was starting to find his feet, and then Frank suddenly drops him and leaves him out. But yeah, I agree with you, Freddie, totally. in the context of the game. And yeah, Odegaard was an impact sub, but he was a good impact sub. And this is what we want from our subs, yeah, to make a difference. And I think Odegaard, Polina did that yesterday, and Dragishin when he come on as well made us more solid. Nitar, big up Nitar, saying good morning to Nigel, good morning to chat. 3 points, we breathe. Boy, did we need him. Archie Gray put the ball in the net. Come on, you Spurs. And I think you've said it exactly what I think every Spurs fan is thinking and was feeling. It was one of them, wasn't it? That final whistle went in, it was like, get in. Yes, get in. No excitement, no like, you're not jumping around the living room. It is literally relief. We've won that game and we move on. Ghost is saying Locatelli and Goretzka are levels above Højbjerg. Agreed, 100%. And listen, Højbjerg for me, I was one of the ones calling for Højbjerg to leave when he left. I was like, Højbjerg is not good enough for Spurs. We need better. And then we sign Archie Gray and Bergvall. And this is no disrespect to them two, but we really needed a Højbjerg last season under Ange Postecoglou. We don't need him now. We got Polina. But yeah, I agree. Locatelli and Goretzka, different gravy compared to Højbjerg on that level. And that's no disrespect to Højbjerg. He did a good job for Spurs. Philly saying blockbuster movies, games on television is our channel with myself, Corey, and our friends. Hoping to have Nigel on soon, hopefully. Yes, guys, yeah, get over, sub to the channel, give Billy a watch. Always good for movies and games. If you like that kind of thing, get over there and give them a sub. I'm a bit of a gamer myself, so yeah, I will be definitely tuning in. Nitar saying Odegaard took a strike from outside the box. Wow, a breath of fresh air. We need to see that more often from a few of our players. Agreed. Agreed. I really like that. Like I say, Odegaard drove at them, didn't he? When he come on, there was another moment as well late on when he was chasing down a Crystal Palace defender. I can't remember which one now, who is miles behind him. And he just chased it down. I think the Palace defender wanted it to go out for a goal kick. Odegaard was having none of it. Chased it down, got the ball, and got Tottenham possession again. And listen, this is what we want to see. He's got to learn. There was a few times, again, very late in the game, injury time, where maybe he could have kept the ball in the corner, but looked for Tottenham to get a second, which is exciting. But at the same time, if Palace had gone up the other end and scored, we'd have been livid. But yeah, I'm really liking Odegaard off the bench at the moment. Really am. Bob said, morning, Nige. Hope you had a good Xmas day. I did, mate. It was, like I say, quiet. Me and the kids loved it. But itching to get back to work now, which is weird. But yeah, it just feels weird. This in between moment, like I said, between Christmas and New Year is strange for me. It's Monday morning. I don't know what day it is. I know it's Monday because I'm doing this, but I've lost track of time and I just want to get back to normality. I'm a creature of habit. So yeah, for me, this is all a bit weird. Philly saying, unfortunately, due to that Johnson goal, we might have Lucas Moura situation, a player staying at Spurs well beyond the sell-by date due to one goal in the Europa League final. I hope not, mate. This is the perfect time to sell Johnson now. We're not going to get any more money for him if we wait any longer because he's not playing. He's not playing, is he? It's a pity he didn't score yesterday. It would have maybe kept his price a bit higher. What do we think we get for Johnson? 30 mil? Is that asking a bit much? He's still reasonably young. What is he, 25, 26? I think we could get 30 million for Johnson. I think that would be a great deal for Spurs. And if Palace want him, then Palace have him. Sell him to Palace, even if it means we sell him for 25 and maybe say that we really want Wharton in the summer. Can we'll do you a good deal for Johnson if you give us a deal for for Wharton. I know that's not how football happens. I'm playing Football Manager in my head, but that would be nice. Paul Clark, big up Paul Clark, says midfield completely dominated in the first half. Happy to good great chances he may improve, but why on earth Bentancur keeps getting chances is beyond me. I'm at one of them where, mate, well, I just don't think any of our midfielders are really good enough apart from the one player who doesn't start, and that's Polina. For me, Polina plays every week. and then we mix and match around him. Um, it's a difficult one. It's difficult. I actually thought Bentancur played okay yesterday. I don't think he was brilliant, but I think he played okay. But you're right. I think we were dominated first half in midfield. And this is going to be an ongoing thing until we improve this midfield three. Let's see what we do in January. I think we need to, but let's see what happens. But big up to you, Paul. Bob says tough watch at Palace, but 3 points is 3 points. Absolutely, mate. Listen, it's never a good game at Palace, is it? Very rarely do we go to Palace and there's a swashbuckling game with loads of goals, loads of chances. Obviously, we had that season when Dele Alli scored that wonder goal. That was a good game, but very usually they're very tight games, one by one goal. And I think it was always going to be that way yesterday. And we got it. It's all about 3 points. Absolutely agree. Paul Clark saying Bergvall was poor but improved after we scored. Polinia must play over Bentancur. I agree. I think Polinia has to play. Has to play. 100%. I've lost my place in the chat. Nita saying Bergvall and Gray need to play on a regular basis. We bought them. We need to develop them. Something we lack doing big time. I think it's great that everyone has different opinions. Some people saying that Graham Bergvall not good enough. Me being one of them. I don't. That's not to say I don't think they should play. It's just that I'd like to see better starting. Other people like yourself need to say they need to play on a regular basis. Listen, it is what it is. I think we've just got to know as a fan base that we're not at that level now. We're not going to be chasing down titles. We're probably not going to be winning cups. Though, listen, a cup's a cup. Anyone's got a chance if we get a good draw. We're not in a position where we want to be. And maybe it's a good time to play these youngsters. We're not going down. We're not going to win anything. Maybe it's a good time for a couple of seasons just to suck it up and say, give these youngsters some time, give them game time. Let's see what happens. We're not going to, pull up any trees for a year or so. But maybe in 18 months, maybe in 2 years, these youngsters suddenly thrive and suddenly we become a great team. But along with that, we've got to have some really good experienced players. And for me, we haven't got that. This is where we need to improve for me. But it's an interesting conversation. Should we play the youngsters more often? Or do we need ready-made players to come in and win now? Doesn't necessarily mean we're going to win now. But I don't know. It's a juggling act, is it? Depends what you want as a fan, I think. Rodney saying, is Frank the man for the job? Come on, you Spurs. I'm not sure. Again, I'm still very much on the fence, mate. How do you guys feel? Is Frank the man to take us forward? As I said from the start, I don't think he's the man to take us to the next level, but he could be the man to stabilise us. And I don't know, but as Spurs fans, we don't want stabilising, do we? We want madness. We want to be winning things. We want to be winning things yesterday. Sadly, it doesn't happen that way. Football isn't that way unless we get an owner come in who's just going to pump £1 billion into the club and spend 300 million in one window, 300 million in the next window, and bring in the very best of the best. Even then, it doesn't guarantee it, but then it gives us a chance. I think this is a slow burner, but is Frank the man? I don't know. I don't know, mate. Guys, let me know what you think. Is Frank the man to take us forward? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Guy says, fun fact, Odegaard is the second fastest player in the Prem so far this season, I read. Does that mean we got the two fastest players in the Premier League? Because Van der Ven has to be the fastest, surely. Yeah, we have some pace in the squad. We really do. Pace, but not a lot of quality. That's what I'm going with. Kate says, I'm worried why Frank's not playing Polinia more, or is he not in Frank's plans? He should be the first name on the sheet. I agree. And this is what I've been screaming for. Why isn't Polinia the first name on the team sheet? And I have to say, if Frank doesn't fancy him, I don't fancy Frank because for me, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Polinia has to start. I get why Frank isn't starting him, I guess, because maybe he likes legs that get around the pitch. But I just think Palhinha is needed. We need him so badly in this side. And when he doesn't play, I think we notice it. I really do. Kate saying Aston Villa want Brendan Johnson. Do they? Do they? I never knew that. Okay, that's interesting. Could do a little deal there. Could do a little deal there again. But what does it say about Johnson's a funny one, isn't he? Because listen, he's a good finisher. He's a good goal scorer, but he's just a crap player. So what do we do with him? Do we keep him? Do we sell him? I think we have to sell him. But interesting to see what kind of clubs come in for him, because it's not necessarily going to be your likes of West Ham and players down at the lower end. There are some top 6 or 7 teams that may come in for Johnson, as Villa apparently are. So let's see what happens. I study with Paul saying, morning lads. I didn't catch the game, but happy they go into 2026 with a win. To be honest, mate, you didn't miss much, but it's all about winning the game. And we done that. Philly saying, I agree on Johnson now. Spurs could use him as a bargaining chip with Palace to get first refusal on Wharton. I agree, mate. I agree. But again, it's not going to matter if we don't put the money down, right? And don't offer the wages. It's all right having first refusal. But if we say, yeah, we'll give you the 80 million or whatever you want for him, but we're only going to pay you 150 grand a week, that isn't going to get him. So, yeah, be brilliant to get first refusal on him. But Spurs have to act like a big club and put that money down. Let's hope we do. Let's hope we do, mate. Phil saying the problem is that when young players start and Spurs get ripped apart by more seasons players, the fans will blame Thomas Frank. And again, yeah, it is this situation. And I would have been the same yesterday, mate. I would have been the same. If we had lost to Palace, I would have been screaming at Frank for not starting Palhinha. Um, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting balancing act. I think we have a lot of young players, and they're going to have to be used. So it is what it is. Bob said maybe we can go on a run now. We have a lot of fixtures we could win. Absolutely, Bob. Agreed. A lot of fixtures are winnable coming up. The next 4, definitely, we should be looking at winning. Let's hope we can. It's all about picking up points. Like I said, if we can win 3 of the next 4, I'd be delighted with that. Guy saying, nice to me, Frank is like your girlfriend's ex before they met at uni. Well read, well spoken, but couldn't take him to that level until he met a bad boy. Oh yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Yeah, women love a bad boy, don't they? They absolutely love a bad boy. But it is what it is. Philly saying maybe there is another contest, Kate Rickson, such as Palhinha plays a certain amount of games. Does that make the loan permanent? There's always context around Spurs, such as the tow loan obligation. I agree, mate. This is what I was saying yesterday. Maybe it's because if he starts another game for Tottenham, um, we have to buy him. We have to have him. And maybe Frank isn't convinced yet. Maybe Frank wants another midfielder in the summer. We don't know, do we? You listen. That could be the case. As much as I love Palhinha, Frank could have ideas on another midfielder. He could want Wharton. Frank could be like, I want Wharton, I want Morgan Gibbs White. They're my 2 in midfield I want. I don't want Palhinha. I don't want us wasting 30 million on a 30-year-old. And whereas I think that's crazy, because I think we need experience, I'm not the manager. And maybe that's the case, Phil. Maybe um, there's a situation where if he starts another game for Spurs, maybe before January, maybe it was before the end of the year, then maybe the obligation would have been now. We'll see. We'll see going forward. But I'm not sure whether Frank really fancies him, which is sad because I love him. Golden Sense saying if we keep everyone, we can't buy it. Anyone. Let it go, people. Absolutely. We have to let players go, and I have a video coming out on that later on that I did yesterday on 4 players I think we could let go in the January window because we need to make space, right? We need to make space for players coming in, and but let's see what we do. Nita saying I have been moaned for too long. Like thousands of us fans and supporters, our owners need to have a vision with structure and long-term plans for the football side of our club. Absolutely. Absolutely agreed 100%. We need a plan. We need a structure. We have neither at the moment. Hopefully, they are getting some sort of structure up in the board level. Obviously, with the news of Paratici, we don't know what's happening. Hearing that he'd already left, but he was at the game yesterday, so he's clearly not gone anywhere yet. Hearing also that he doesn't get on with Frank. It's all rumors. It's all rumors, but this needs to stop. We need a vision. We need a structure and a long-term plan. I agree 100%. And Kate says, Nige, what do you think of Lange taking over the reins? I think is absolutely crazy, Kate. For me, Lange was one of the ones who should have been gone in the summer. I think he's an awful, awful, awful man. Not personally, I'm sure he's very nice, but I just don't think he's very good at bringing in players. I don't think he's got a talent idea about him. I don't think he knows what he's doing. Um, I think if he was to bring in 15 players, I think one of them might be decent. I'm just not sure about him. I really ain't. We will see. If he's in charge, I'm not happy, but we will see. We will see what happens. And Kate says, no more bloody kids. I agree. Guy saying, "Oh yeah, nice. You reminded me. I'm taking my football coaching badges soon, end of Jan. But yeah, we need to sell some players. Wheat and chaff and ting. Yeah, wow, good luck with that, mate. Who knows? You could be at Spurs one day, guy. You could be at Spurs one day. Um, I wouldn't be against it. I wouldn't be against it. At least I know you have the club at heart." Kate saying, "We don't have a plan B. Absolutely not. We don't." And then Guy saying, Kate, we don't have a consistent plan A. No, absolutely. And Kate saying, I totally agree, Nige. And so will Philly. Yeah, much love to both of you. Billy saying, big up Nita. The board needs to be held accountable. For far too long, they have been getting away with it. They have 100%. Guys, it is 9:45. It is time for me to go and get my coffee. But thank you so much to everyone that's joined me. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Smash a like on the way out if you haven't liked already. And if you haven't subbed, sub to the channel. I'd much appreciate it. Thursday, New Year's Day, massive game, 3 more points needed. We get that, and we are looking a lot better and in a better position. Big up Tyrell. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're well. Arsenal absolutely flying. Guys, I will leave it now. Have a great day. And as always, stay positive, stay poised, and stay pure Coys.